Bachira starts freaking out, being that if they lose, he won't be able to play with either of them, and because of this, Bachira decides to make it his mission to win, even if it kills him. But the real question is our best boy Bachira just all talk right now, or is he going to go through some sort of mid-game transformation or awakening in order to win the match? In this insane 4v4 match between Team White with Isagi, Nagi, Barou, and Chigiri versus Team Red with Rin, Aryu, Tokimitsu, and Bachira, we see Isagi and Rin going blow for blow in their high level plays. But to Bachira, there are now not one, but two monsters on the pitch. And as he's excited to play with them, sadly, to these monsters, he doesn't exist in their world, begging the question on what Bachira will do next. After finding out in chapter 82 that if Team White ends up winning, Bachira won't be the one getting picked and that it'll most likely without a doubt be Rin, Bachira decides to make it his sole mission to win this match at all costs. In chapter 83, we see Barou with the ball telling the team to shift things into high gear, but with Tokimitsu on him, Isagi tells Barou to pass and to not try and fight Tokimitsu head on. And surprisingly enough, Barou understands and passes the ball to Isagi, but says that he wants it back with interest, and as soon as Isagi gets the ball, he then passes it right back to Barou. As Isagi and Barou have only stolen the ball from each other up until now, Isagi uses that to his advantage to subvert Rin and Tokimitsu's expectations by passing it to one another. As we now see a chemical reaction between Isagi and Barou hitting a 1-2 pass to each other, they manage to break through, and as everyone is now focused only on the ball, we see Bachira, who was clearly left behind by the rest. We then see Bachira say that he doesn't want to lose everything that he's found at Blue Lock, being Isagi, his first friend, and that he really would have been happy just being able to play soccer with Isagi by his side. And as he says that he doesn't want to go back to those days where he felt alone, in that moment he then recalls his mother's words about people being unable to hear their own voice, and that's when it hit him, as he asks himself, when did he become afraid of being alone again? And when did he start playing soccer to avoid being left behind by them? And that without even realizing it beforehand, Bachira has been playing football in order to be wanted by someone else by hearing the voice of their monsters, but instead what he should have been doing was listening to his own voice. So, as of this moment, winning even if it kills him and steal Isagi back is what the voice in his heart is telling him what to do. Bachira tries to swipe the ball away from Isagi, but he ends up failing as Isagi manages to hop over it. But that was something totally unexpected from Bachira, as Isagi says, following up with that Rin will try and make use of this, so Isagi decides to stay one step ahead of Rin by passing the ball to Chigiri on the right. Chigiri gets the ball and sends it towards Nagi, and as Tokimitsu says that he won't let Nagi get the ball, Nagi just hops in Tokimitsu's way, saying that he's here for his Best Supporting Actor award, as he uses his chest to pass the ball to Isagi, telling him to take it from here to finish it. As Isagi compliments his team, saying that they're the best, he states that he can shoot from where he is, and that it's narrow but he can still make it. As Bachira tries to tell Isagi to wait up, telling him to give him one more chance, Isagi shoots the ball, declaring that this is Team White's victory. As the ball soars through Aryu and Tokimitsu heading towards the top left bin of the net, we still see one man in our protagonist's way to victory, with that man revealed to be Itoshi RIn as he runs towards the most dangerous spot of the goal to block the shot with his head, like Isagi did to one of his shots back at the start of this arc, getting his get back. As the ball falls into the lap of Bachira's, he takes this as his last chance, as this time he's only going to follow the sound of his own voice. As Team White tries to get the ball back from our best boy, we see Bachira telling the monster not to come out, being that if it does, he'll just end up relying on it. At first, Bachira thought that the relying on the monster was enough for him, because since it was with him, he didn't feel alone. And it was thanks to the monster that he was able to keep believing in himself, and that he was able to come to Blue Lock and make friends. As Bachira thanks the monster for being by his side up until now, he breaks the news to the monster, telling it that he can't go any further with it, saying that if he's always relying on it, he won't be able to catch up with Isagi and Rin. And as he ends up begging the monster to disappear, Bachira states that he doesn't need a monster anymore. As Bachira starts to counterattack, Isagi says that if he gets past him, it's game over. As Isagi decides to buy some time until the rest of the team can catch up, we see Bachira with the ball. We then see him say that he has a habit of seeking a monster and that it's ingrained inside his body, and that this monster that has brought him hope up until now has turned into a curse that limits his thinking. At one point in his life, playing football with the monster became Bachira's sole purpose in life, and once he met Isagi at Blue Lock, he became a true monster for Bachira, so much so that playing football with Isagi became Bachira's only reason for existing, and became someone who can't play without him. But Bachira tells himself that if he doesn't break this curse, he won't be able to go any further. As Tokimitsu catches up with Bachira, he tells him to pass to him, and as Isagi is sure that Bachira will pass to Tokimitsu, Bachira tells him to shut up and to get lost, stating that he won't pass to a monster anymore, as he successfully gets past Isagi with a nutmeg. As Isagi points out how aggressive that nutmeg was from Bachira, he also notices that his dribbling became very wild, and that he's never seen Bachira look like this before, stating that this isn't the old Bachira anymore. As Nagi shouts to Chigiri to stop him with his speed, Chigiri manages to catch up with Bachira, but Aryu is also there telling Bachira to pass to him, but as Bachira said that he won't pass anymore, he then does another nutmeg to get through Chigiri, but that's when Barou catches up and grabs Bachira by the shoulder, questioning him whether or not he's running wild. As Tokimitsu is also there, telling Bachira to pass or else he'll lose the ball, Bachira tells them to shut up, as he says that he's not running wild, but waking himself up to break this curse of his as he proceeds to do a third nutmeg on Barou. Nagi points out that Bachira's movements are sharp, and at this rate they'll lose, and as Isagi is trying to catch up, he states that in this game, Bachira has become an unreadable wild card. As Barou shouts that Bachira is gonna run the whole way, he tells the rest of the Team White to go after him, and as they successfully surround him, Isagi notices Rin on the move, and by his positioning, he's moving to a place where Bachira can easily pass to him, but since Isagi can see this, he'll try to intercept the pass. As Team White talk about since the other side of the field is open, once they steal the ball, that'll be their chance to get a goal. But in that moment, that's when Bachira tells everyone to shut up who's scurrying around him, telling them to get out of his way, calling them all fucking nobodies as he lifts the ball. As everyone is shocked at this, we see Bachira talking about how long it's been since he tried to fight without the monster, saying that he's almost forgotten this sense of freedom, his origin. Isagi then comes to the realization that the unreadable existence he needs to win against Rin, deciding to risk it all on this one last piece, stating that the one Isagi needs to devour right now is the monster Bachira Meguru. As Bachira continues to recall the old days when he didn't need a monster, saying that even though he was alone, it was fun just chasing the ball down from sunrise to sundown, where back then, becoming one with the ball was all that mattered to him, and his only reason to play football. Even if he's alone, even if he didn't have Isagi by his side, he still tells him to fight and to lose himself. And as Bachira manages to break from the 3-on-1 situation, we see Nagi say enough already as he grabs Bachira's shoulder. But Bachira quickly gets out of Nagi's grasp, saying that he'll become the monster, and that even though it'll be lonely, from now on, he'll dance on his own. And as he says goodbye to the monster and goodbye to the Isagi that played football with him up until this point, as he's about to shoot the ball, he says that he's taking back the football which he played alone as he shoots the ball, claiming this to be his original ego. And just as we were thought to believe that Bachira scored the final goal for Team Red, we see this guy Isagi block the shot, telling Bachira that he believed in him to get in front of the goal on his own. We then get a brief moment of us looking back at Bachira's play from Isagi's point of view. And while watching Isagi's play with blocking Bachira, in that instant, his play surely surpassed that of Rin's. And as the ball spins in the air, we see that if the ball Bachira's shot hit Isagi's foot at a different angle, the fate of all 8 players on the field would have changed in that moment. But sadly, in this current moment, the ball randomly, mercilessly, and cruelly descended upon its ruler as we get this cold spread of the ball landing on Rin as he makes a touch and shoots the ball, scoring the 5th and final goal for Team Red, winning the match. As Team Red now gets to pick a player from Team White to join them, we see Bachira about to choose who to join them. But that's when RIn tells him to shut up, as he states that he'll be the one choosing and that there'll be no objections. As he mentions that last play that was made was the first time that he's ever felt defeat since coming to Blue Lock, making one more person he needs to crush other than his brother, as he tells none other than Isagi Yoichi to join him, coldly saying that he can have the front row view of his ascension to the world's #1 spot. And with that, Team Red with RIn, Aryu, Tokimitsu, Bachira, and now Isagi clear the second selection. Hey guys, DarkheroJosh here, and that was how Bachira Meguru discovered his origin ego again. If you ended up enjoying this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what other Blue Lock moments should I talk about and review next on this channel, as this video marks the end of the Isagi Get Back series that I kinda created around the end of December. But without further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and see ya.